And now the Trump administration is responding to the second fatal shooting this month of an American citizen in Minneapolis at the hands of a federal agent. ABC Justice and Homeland Security reporter Luke Barr joins me now with the latest. Luke, Kash Patel appeared on Fox News Sunday today saying Americans cannot bring loaded firearms to protests. What else did he have to say?
Yeah, he did, and we do have some sound of that. Let's take a listen to what the director said first here, Ike.
But as Secretary Noem said, no one who wants to be peaceful shows up at a protest with a firearm that is loaded with 2 full magazines. That is not a peaceful protest, and you do not get to touch law enforcement. You do that anywhere, this FBI is going to be leading the charge to arrest those.
Yeah, Ike, and he also said that, quote, you cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest. He said it's that simple. You don't have that right to break the law and incite violence. And he also confirmed in that Fox hit that the Department of Homeland Security is actually leading this investigation with an assist from the FBI. That he said that the FBI is in possession of the firearm and they're running tests, but so far it's a DHS investigation, Ike.
So we have the FBI and the DHS saying that you cannot bring loaded firearms to protests. So how are Second Amendment advocates responding to that?
Well, on X and other social media posts, there is some concern about that statement. But on the record, the Minnesota Gun Owners Caucus said in a statement, quote, they are deeply concerned about the shooting that occurred yesterday and are hoping that an investigation plays out fully to see what happens. They say, quote, every peaceable Minnesotan has the right to keep and bear arms, including while attending protests, acting as observers, or exercising their First Amendment rights. These rights do not disappear when someone is lawfully armed, and they must be respected and protected at all times, Like.
Luke, Attorney General Pam Bondi is blaming Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey for the events unfolding in Minnesota right now. What is she saying about federal agents leaving the state, and how is Governor Walz responding to this?
Yeah, so she sent a letter to the governor and in part said, quote, the lawlessness in the streets is matched by the unprecedented financial fraud occurring on your watch. She said, and the out-of-control fraud in your state also implicates election security. It's a tragedy that Americans have lost faith in Minnesota's ability to keep the taxpayers' funds secure and the citizens safe. Now, she also outlined 3 things, according to her, that Minnesota has to do in order to get aligned with the administration. And the last one is turning over voter rolls for the state. Now, the other 2 are ending the sanctuary jurisdiction and turning over Medicaid and SNAP databases to the Justice Department so they can investigate they allege fraud. This is, of course, concerning some because it amounts to, the Attorney General offering conditions, it appears, for the federal agents to leave Minneapolis, Ike.
Okay, conditions that don't appear to align with the immigration calls that they were supposedly sent there in the first place. Okay, Luke Barr.